asked him, what do you think about Iran? Would you hit Iran? And he goes, as long as they don't hit the nuclear stuff. That's the thing you want to hit, right? I said, I think he's got that one wrong. Isn't that the one you're supposed to hit? I mean, it's the biggest risk we have. Nuclear weapons, the power of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. You know, I rebuilt the entire military, jets, everything. I built it, including nuclear, and I hated to build the nuclear, but I got to know firsthand the power of that stuff, and I'll tell you what, we have to be totally prepared. We have to be absolutely prepared, but when they asked him that question, the answer should have been, hit the nuclear first and worry about the rest later, and that's what they should, if they're going to do it.
Do it until I stand upon the sand of the sea, and I see a breeze to rise up out of the sea. He'll say that.
Ask him, what do you think about Iran? Would you hit Iran? And he goes, as long as they don't hit the nuclear stuff. That's the thing you want to hit, right? I said, I think he's got that one wrong. Isn't that the one you're supposed to hit? I mean, it's the biggest risk we have.
We're coming on with breaking news of what appears to be a major escalation in the Middle East tonight. Iranian state TV is reporting there have been explosions on targets in Tehran. It comes just weeks after Iran launched a direct missile attack on Israel. This escalation comes amid growing concerns about a wider, all-out war breaking in the region. I want to bring in our Pentagon correspondent, Courtney Kube. Courtney, what are you hearing from there?
Yeah, so this is something that we've been waiting for several weeks now, and this is an Israeli military response to the large-scale attack by Iran several weeks ago on Israel. Now, Iran on that night launched nearly 200 ballistic missiles towards Israel, several of them striking. Fortunately, the majority of them were able to be intercepted by the Israeli military with some help from the U.S. military. But since then, we have been hearing from U.S. and Israeli officials that a response was coming. Well, that seems to be what is now underway. The Israeli Defense Forces now confirming that they are conducting precision strikes against Iran. Now, in a statement from the IDF, they are saying this is not only in response to that attack several weeks ago by Iran, but this is in a response or retaliation for the dozens and dozens of attacks that they say they have been suffering from Iran and Iranian proxies since October 7th. Now, of course, we have now seen several cases where Israel and Iran have launched projectiles, missiles, drones, and other projectiles and weapons back and forth between one another. Back in April, we saw hundreds of projectiles fly from Iran towards Israel. Again, in that case, the vast majority were knocked down. Israel responding with several strikes up towards Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, that seemed to end the direct back and forth between Iran and Israel, and instead, in those months between April and now, we saw the majority of the attacks came through those proxy networks. So we're talking about Hezbollah from Iran, Hezbollah in Iraq and in Syria, and then of course the Houthi rebels in Yemen. But then in July, after a series of Israeli assassinations, the back and forth started again. And then of course, when Israel assassinated Hassan Nasrallah, it all ticked up again. So the big question here is, Lester, what is Israel targeting tonight? Now, U.S. officials have told us that they expect the majority of the targeting to be against Iranian military sites. But of course, there is always the possibility that Israel could also go after some of Iran's energy facilities, so things like their oil and gas fields, the sorts of targets that would not necessarily be military related, but could have a direct impact on Iran's economy. It still stands to reason we have to see exactly what they're targeting.
I have a feeling of doom, of impending doom. For the past 5 days I've been feeling this way, and nothing in my life, nothing I have going on should make me feel like this. Now, I've been feeling weird for the past couple weeks, not my same self, kind of down. But ever since Saturday, I've been feeling this way, who's not in the path of a hurricane or doesn't have some looming disaster coming up in their own personal life on the horizon?
Does anyone else wholeheartedly feel in their chest like something bad is about to happen? I have literally felt heavy, scared, nervous all day. And this isn't like your normal, just like everyday anxiety. This is like, to my core, I feel like something bad is about to happen. With these hurricanes, with everything political going on, I just feel like something is coming. And I don't even know what that something could be or would be, but my spirit is unsettled. I'm not a religious person, but I'm definitely a spiritual person, and my spirit is heavy. It is shaken. I'm just sitting out on my back deck in the dark and just contemplating life. Does anyone else feel this way? Am I crazy? Or does anyone else just feel something? Something's not right. Guess all we can do now is wait.
Yeah, there is something terrible about to happen. And I'm not just talking about in Florida, I'm talking about everywhere. I'm talking about, I was putting up my groceries, I want to say an hour ago, and I heard a loud pitch ringing in my ear, where I literally stopped in my tracks. I couldn't do anything else. I stopped in my tracks. I feel like it's the end of the world. Like, I feel like the apocalypse is coming, and a lot of us aren't ready. But something is about to happen. I feel it in my soul.
Is it just me? Or just the sheer volume of chaos in our country right now make you wonder what the hell is going on? It seems almost of biblical proportions. There's just a gut feeling in me right now that something drastic is about to happen in this country. And it's scary. Do you have the same gut feeling? This is crazy. Listen, I just want to make something clear.
We have breaking news out of the Middle East. After a long wait, since October 1st, after many promises, Israel has attacked Iran. Now, this is so much complete breaking news, and it's literally just happening. It's unfolding even now as we're on the air here. So we deep dive, wanted to give you as much information as we could right now to put this stuff into context. But also there's just lots of competing information. A lot of people are saying one thing, some people are saying something different. So it's a kind of a murky situation. So we'll have to be a little bit careful with some of the things we're talking about. But what we can say with absolute certainty is that Israel for sure did take this action. And in fact, in one of the unusual points, usually these things happen and Israel doesn't make any comment or they don't take credit for it. But in this case, even before all the ordinance had completely fallen, is Israeli, not prime minister, sorry, the spokesman, Daniel Hagari, came out and unequivocally took credit.
In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the state of Israel, right now, the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran.